Hey ladies, just gonna film real quick how I apply Color Street nail polish. I'm about to do a mani, so I figured I'd film it so you all can see. I'm gonna do Rose Were the Days, which is a retired set that they recently restocked, and I was able to grab. Every kit is gonna come with a nail prep pad, a nail file, and 16 strips of different sizes. Use my scissors. Two strips of 8. I'm gonna put one aside. And then what you wanna do is before I peel the protective cover, I make sure that I'm measuring it against my nail. For me, this strip, the smallest strip, is actually too small for my pinky. If I align it against my pinky, I'm gonna end up with a gap. So what I do is I go one step up, and this here is the size for me for my pinky. If you have wide nails, you can always apply it sideways as well, depending on the size of your nail. So I break apart the strip I'm gonna be working on, peel the protective clear cover. It says peel off right here. And then this gray tab, you're gonna peel it there, which this is the actual nail polish. It's 100% nail polish. And what I do is I'm going to place it gently on my nail bed, trying to make sure that I cover as much as my nail as possible, and I'm not going over my cuticle. So I put it right above my cuticle, but not covering my cuticle. So in this case, it's not touching my cuticle. I don't see any gap in the nail. Well, I see a little bit of a gap actually, so I'm gonna adjust it. That's why I place it gently, so that I could adjust it how I want. There we go, now it's covering the nail. So once I see that it's covering the entire nail, I'm gonna push down along the middle and then the sides. Just making sure that you're not getting any air bubbles. And then it's gonna be really, real good stuck on the nail. Here you can pull a little bit gently so you're stretching out any air bubbles, and then with your thumb you're going to start lightly perforating where you want the polish to come off. And I'll clean this up as well, but now with this side I'm going to tear out this little, or pull apart this little gray tab and just put it aside. And then with this end I'm going to do my other pinky. So because of the size of my nails, I'm able to use one strip for 2 nails. Again, you're gonna put it gently on your nail without going over your cuticle. Make sure you're covering your nail and there won't be any gaps. And then press down, down the middle, down the sides. And then with my thumb, tuck it under my nail and perforate. And this little extra piece I can toss aside. What I do to clean is I also use my nail. Any extra that lands on the skin, I am going to press down gently again. I'm just gonna pull and press down so that it's stretched out as much as possible. And where it's touching my skin, I'm gonna press down on the polish and the skin and start slowly breaking it away so I can clean that excess. It's better to go bigger than smaller because that way you don't have to worry about any gaps. But it's easy to take out any excess. A lot of people use the file method too. They'll tuck it under their nail and file away the excess. you can use that. You can use your thumb and your index. It's good to leave your thumb and your index for last because of this reason. You use it a lot for cleaning. So you do your pinky and index, and leave your thumbs for last. And I just do it gently at first because I don't want to tear too much by mistake. So. The reason why you don't want it to get on your cuticle is as your nail starts growing out, the cuticle will start growing and then it'll push out the nail polish and will start chipping where there's growth in your nail. So now I did my both pinkies. And I'm gonna use Aberdeen as an accent. So this is gonna be a mixed Vanny. In this case, I know I use this one for my pinky and this is gonna be the one for my ring finger. But if you're not sure, go ahead and always measure it just to be on the safe side. Remove the clear cover. And then on the gray tab, which is your nail polish, you're gonna go ahead and pull that apart and then gently place it on your nail. Don't press down until you're happy where you placed it. I'm pretty happy where it's at. This is 95% dry, so the only 5% you need is just to be able to tear that piece away and use it on your other nail. And I could file that excess. If you make any mistakes, or you see some air bubbles you can't get rid of, or something came out wrinkled, or you're not liking the placement, this is 100% nail polish. You remove with nail polish remover, and you have plenty of other strips left to try again. So now the cleanup part, press down, I stretch it over and press down. So you're kind of molding it to your nail size. I'm going to use the nail file for that little bit over my nail. What you want to do is you want to file downwards instead of sideways. You want to file downwards. If you have a glass nail file, then it doesn't matter. You can go either way. But for these types of nail files, they say you should only file one way, and downwards is the best option. It's looking really pretty. For those of you that are new to it, you'll take your time when you first do it because you know you're not used to the product. You want to make sure you're aligning it correctly. But once you get the hang of it, I mean, you guys, you can do this in your lunch break. You could do this in the car. Nothing's gonna spill. So if you're on a road trip, you know, you're able to use your polish and apply your nail polish. You can do this in bed. It's actually encouraged for you to do it before bedtime. That way it gives it enough time to cure. And it's pretty dry to do, you know, day-to-day things. The only thing is don't wash your hands for 30 minutes after applying the polish and don't use any lotion. So otherwise you can get the mail, you can play with your dog, you can go back to work, you can type. So that's about it. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I'll continue and then I'll show you guys the finished product when I'm done. Thanks.